welcome Ms. Sass Regondo for opening statements.
Welcome, Sass!
Hold on. There. Let's give a round of applause to Ms. Sass Regondo.
Hello, good morning. Can you hear me?
Good morning.
Yes, you can be heard.
Good morning. Okay, before I start, gusto ko lang sagutin yung tanong ni Kapiter earlier. Sino yung mga wala daw siya, no? Na dating sumisigaw ng imperialismo ibagsak at feudalismo at kapitalismo ibagsak. Well, alam naman natin that's that's the Communist Party of the Philippines, and of course their legal and their members, no, their various members. Well, wala sila dyan because they're not really communists, no, Kapito. They're just like opportunists. They're just like a group of bad-lit people who present themselves as people with ideology, but in reality, they're just there to make money, no? And use children in order to further their banditry all over the Philippines. That's why they will never be there. Wala naman kasing pera dyan. No? Walang pera dito, kaya hindi yung pupunta dito. Doon sila sa may pera, just like they have always been in their entire history. So, I will be very short and quick and very sharp in my statements. The thing is very simple. Where do we want the Philippines to be in 30 years? No? We have to think that long term. And I don't know how many of you would still be alive in 30 years, no? But if you're no longer going to be alive in 30 years, given the lifespan, normal span in the Philippines, then ask yourself, where do you want to be? Where do you want the Philippines to be in 30 years for your children or grandchildren, whichever applies? There are only, right now, I will use two vivid metaphors. One, do you want the Philippines to be able to host the Olympics in 30 years? Or two, do you want the Philippines to be the host of World War III within 30 years? So these two trajectories are not compatible. No, the other one, you need to focus every year of your of the country's fiscal year towards development. And the other one, the trajectory to be in the hopes of World War III, we are already on that trajectory, and it's Bongo Marcos himself, the president himself, alluded to that moment during his speech in Australia recently, that we are now on the front lines again of World War II. So this president is actually not bringing us to a future where we can host the Olympics within 30 years. He is bringing us to a future of death, more deaths, and of course, more money in their pockets, because there is money to be made in war. That is the reality of it. There's money to be made in war, and unfortunately, your children, the poor people, will not be the beneficiary of that money. You will be the ones supposed to be sent to die for these rich people, and then they will reap all the benefits. And we are already seeing this in Ukraine. There is massive, and when I say massive, gargantuan, galactic, universal scale of corruption going on right now in Ukraine because of the multi-billion aid being poured into Ukraine every year, and a lot of it are just going to the pockets of the politicians in Ukraine and even some military officials. You can just go read the news, and corruption in Ukraine right now is so rampant, and it's actually one of the major concerns of US politicians on why they don't want to send aid anymore to Ukraine. But of course, Ukraine is blackmailing the United States and even other European countries that if they lose, they would say that Russia would then conquer the rest of Europe. Anyway, in our context, we can hear the same tenor. No, they are saying that China will not just invade the entire West Philippine Sea. I don't even think that these people are thinking about a country invading an entire sea. No, this sounds preposterous. And now they're saying that, oh, China will invade the Philippines itself, you know, the Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, which again is ridiculous and preposterous. And of course, we know who is pushing this narrative. It is the United States. And I think the Philippines need to go through enlightenment, you know, right now. And it's very hard for enlightenment to happen because our politicians are earning from this. And a lot of them have properties in the United States. And unfortunately, even some of the allies of the president, former President Duterte, some of them have properties in the United States. So you can see them suddenly having some very aggressive foreign policy stances. I'm just going to call a spade a spade. And it's so unfortunate that we are in this situation because we have been here before and we haven't learned from our history. And why are we not learning? Our politicians kept on anchoring our country on the promises of the United States, anchoring our country on the hopes that the United States will be our Messiah. I think Filipinos have to wake up to our historical reality that the United States has been in our country since 1898. It's already 2024. Different Asian countries, we were the first, you know, Western-style democracy in Asia, at least in Southeast Asia or in East Asia. And other countries actually outrun us in terms of development. No, even non-democratic countries, no, or even the countries that have democratic centralism like Vietnam and China, they have outpaced us. So maybe we should be asking ourselves if the United States is really concerned about our development. How come we are not as developed as other Asian countries? Even as developed as China, we were richer than China before. Now, you know, China is light years away in terms of development. Why did it happen? If the United States is really for the development of the Philippines, why is our country in this kind of situation? Why is our country not? Why China was able to host Olympics before us? You know, if we are really the favored country of the United States, and if the United States is really concerned about our development. Now this EDCA, okay, mabuti na lang, I can see Harry Roque, no? Harry, hello. We've been fighting against EDCA since then, no? I was on the street and Harry Roque was in the court. Look at this EDCA, no? Actually, even starting from BFA. We kicked out the Americans in September 1991, and I think the uncle of Harry Roque, no, gave a really memorable speech during that time, Senator Salonga, and he celebrated it as the end of over 500 years of foreign military occupation of the Philippines. And then, in just a few years, no, even before the uncle of Harry Roque died, he saw that liberation suddenly, you know, overrun by greedy politicians and short-sighted and politicians that are not really patriots. You cannot be a patriot of the Philippines if you cannot continue the unfinished revolution of 1898. That is the truth of it. Now, The promise of BFA and EDCA is that our military will be modernized. No? It's already 2024. The military being modernized by the United States is once again the reason being used in order to support EDCA and BFA. Let me remind the Filipino people, no? Even our foreign correspondents and the live audience there. The United States promised the modernization of the Philippine military in 1951. Okay? 1951. So, it's already 2024. Now, it's already 73 years since 1951. Namatay na ata yung mga tao pinangakuan noong 1951 ay modernize ang military ng Pilipinas. And 73 years, we're still talking about the promise of modernizing the military, Philippine military. It never arrived, and it will never arrive. The United States is in the Philippines because the Philippines will be its proxy against its war versus China. China and the United States will not dare, they will not dare to fire any single bullet against each other's territory. It's impossible. It's not gonna happen in this day and age of nuclear weapons. Just look at Russia. No? They are not really openly attacking Russian territory, even though they're promising to defend Ukraine.